Hey guys, welcome to my very quick how to make a doorbell tutorial. Now for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm not going to go into very much detail on how to build things like note blocks or redstone repeaters. Just check out the wiki. All I'm really going to do is show you how to build a doorbell and go over the ideas, how it works. Now for quickness, I have here 3 note blocks that have been pre-tuned. Again, well, I can cover this really quickly. The way you tune a note block, in fact, I think I have a spare in my inventory. Simply place it down, left click it, it'll play the same note. Right click, it'll go through the scales until you get to the note you want. Also, the material you place the block down on says what instrument it is. So over here on grass, it's like a piano. Over here on sand, it sounds like a drum. Now I know that it looks like that these are on sand, but just to show you real quick, there's no shenanigans. I've actually placed these on wool blocks in the ground, which I think also just makes the piano sound. Now what I want to do is have each of these 3 notes play in sequence. And over here as well, just for quickness, I have a wooden block with a button on it. So what we need to do to begin with, and I'm going way back here just so we can see the circuit and how it's laid out, is if I just go ahead and wire the button to the first one, where every press of the button will play the note. Now of course we also need the other 2 notes, so we wire these in as well. Like so. But when we press the button, what we're getting is a chord rather than them going off one after each other. In fact, I'm not even sure this end one is playing because it's more than 15 away. Now this is where these little devices, redstone repeaters, come in. Now what they do is, the use is twofold. As I mentioned before, I think you can only go about 15 squares before basically the power from your button or switch or whatever doesn't reach. These basically act as boosters. The other thing they do is, if you look on, when you right click them when they're placed, that is setting a delay. So now if I was to put this first one, say here, what's going to happen when I press the button is that first one, if you watch the repeater, there's a slight delay. In fact, let me set that to its full delay so it's easier to see. There's a delay on that first one as it's held back, but we don't actually want a delay on the first one, because what I'm trying to do is get these to go off in sequence. When it's done, it should go. So we want the first one to go immediately as soon as the button is pressed. The second one shortly after. So what we'll do, and one of the other things I should mention, is when you're placing your repeaters, the direction that you are facing when you put them down is the direction. They're unidirectional. They'll only work in the direction they're placed. So if I was to put that there sideways and try it again, it's just going to block it. Nothing is going to happen. So instead, if we have them facing the right way, which lets the current through, and set the delay to maximum, we're getting ding ding, because this one cut. In fact, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to demonstrate that. If I press the button, if we can see on the this end one isn't actually making a note yet, because if you count the squares, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the current can't actually reach this last one. Not so if we use a redstone repeater. And because we also want the delay here to be quite big, we're going to use 3 of them. Now again, just to make this a little bit more complicated, in case you're following it so far, it wouldn't matter if I place the last one here or here, but let's just for tidiness do it here and set its delay to the maximum. Now let's see what we get when we press the button. That still sounds a little quick to me, so I don't think I have another repeater. But anyway, it's enough to get the basic gist. Now what I would do is fit an extra repeater here just to make that delay a little bit more if this was going to be a finished project. But as it's not, it doesn't really matter. Now just so we get the idea of what's going on here, I'm pressing the button. The current is flowing along this wire down here, playing the first box immediately. That same current is being delayed here. I think that is 3/10 of a second. So for 6/10 of a second, I might have that completely wrong. I'll have to check the wiki. But let's just say it's delayed for 2 full units here. So then that one plays. And the current that reaches here at the same time as the first one is delayed 3 times. So we press the button. Now of course, if you were to use this in your house, as you can see, it's a bit big and unwieldy right now, but there are ways to... I don't want to move the boxes because I'd have to retune them and everything, but just to show, purely for tidiness' sake, you can make it much more compact. You could have these right next to each other instead of the gap. Could make it quite small and basically dig a hole under the front of your house, have the button up on the front. Still works exactly the same because the circuit layout is still exactly the same. Well, anyway, I hope that's given you some ideas, because as well, the other thing you could do is have these as iron doors and have them open in sequence, have a delay from when you press a button. One of the things that this is useful for is on adventure maps, is you could have maybe 5 seconds worth of these, a button on one side of a big lava pool, and have it set so when you press the button, a door opens on the other side and you've got 10 seconds to get to it before it closes again. Anything. Well, I hope that this has been useful. I hope you find some use for it. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe. Please check out my Minecraft Let's Play. It's on the same channel. And thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.